It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face and she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? To turn the page? Sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again and our eyes meet. Oh. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. That's okay. You're not as used to reading right. I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do, since you've been so patient with me. Yeah. Patient. Thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. I don't fucking know. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey, Yuri. This might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. You think so? How does she? Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways. But she also second guesses all of the things that she says and does. Like she's afraid she'll do something wrong. It's not like I can see into your head or anything, but they're kind of reminiscent of some of your mannerisms. I see. Yuri remained silent for a moment. But Brendan, that's probably a terrible thing to have in common with her. That's so embarrassing that you think that. Wait. I didn't mean it in a bad way or anything. Sorry, I really didn't know you were self-conscious about that sort of thing. I guess I more meant that it's kind of cute. What are you saying all of a sudden? Okay, everyone! She jumped and it was hilarious. I think it's time we share today's poems with each other. We might not have enough time if we wait too long. Yuri exhales, spared from finishing her thought. Is that alright, Yuri? You look kind of down. I'm sorry if you haven't been looking forward to this. It's not. It's fine. Yuri releases her hand from the book, causing it to close on top of my thumb. Ow! Alright. I guess I'll do some more reading tonight. Or would you prefer I only read it with you? I guess I don't have too much of a preference either way. In that case, I'll read a little bit more tonight. I'll be more fun to read with you after it picks up a bit, you know? That's good reasoning. In that case, feel free to finish the first 2 chapters on your own time. Alright. I stand up, I make a mental note of where I left off in the book, then slip it back into my bag. It's called a bookmark, dude. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night? Yeah. My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I could really find much inspiration since I've never really done this before. Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with? I can't wait! Sarah and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sayori's is on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers in a composition notebook. I can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. Okay, so who should I choose to share my poem with first? Now, like I said, I'm leaning more towards Sayori than Yuri in a way, but I think I'll go with Monica first to see what she has to say, and just, yeah, and then we'll go to Sayori. I should start with Monica. Yesterday, she seemed eager to read my poem, and I want her to know I'm putting in an effort. Hi, Brendan. Having a good time so far? Yeah. Good. Glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course, I'll be afraid to bring things up. Okay, that's exactly like me. Like, people, yeah, they'll say, oh, if you ever need help, just come and get me, or, oh, if you have any questions, come and get me, so on and so forth, but I never do, because I feel scared to do it, almost. Well, scared's not the word, just afraid of people judging me in their heads, and I'm just a little self-conscious. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Don't worry, Brendan. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But it's that sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I hand Monica my poem. Great job, Brendan. I was going, ooh, in my head while reading it. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you. It's easiest for me to go keep everyone's expectations low. Oh wait, yeah, that was me. It's good for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That's why it always counts when I put in some effort. That's also true with me, in a way, because the day that I do something amazing that nobody ever thought because I've lowered the bar so much, and then all of a sudden I skyrocket, and people see that I actually can do things, that I can actually be good at some things, and that just it makes my day to do that, because it's knowing that I have a secret that nobody knows about, and it's my way of getting people to be proud of me or count on me in a way. That's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know that Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Writing that's full of imagery and symbolism? Unlike Sayori, who likes simple and direct words to describe happiness and sadness, Yuri likes it when readers are left to desire their own meaning derive their own meaning out of it. It's very challenging to write like that effectively, both allowing people to get something out of it just by feel, or letting them deeply analyze all of the whatever. I kind of skipped it by accident. It can take years for practice, which I'm assuming Yuri has at this point. I never really asked, though. I'm sure I'm nowhere near her level yet. Don't worry so much about that. You do your own thing, just keep exploring and learning by trying new things. I'm sure I'll end up trying different things a lot. It could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this. That's okay. I'd love to see you try new things. That's the best way to find the kind of style that suits you. Everyone else might be a little bit biased towards their own kinds of styles, but I'll always help you find what suits you the most. So don't force yourself to write the way everyone else wants you to write. It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good. Well, that's 'cause I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know? I see. Well, let's read it then. Okay, so this is called Hole in the Wall. It couldn't have been me. See the direction the spackle protrudes. A noisy neighbor, an angry boyfriend, I'll never know. I wasn't home. I peer inside of for a clue. No, I can't see. I reel blind. Like a film left out in the sun. But it's too late. My retinas, already scorched with the permanent copy of the meaningless image. It's just a little hole. It was too bright. It was too deep, stretching forever into everything. A hole of infinite choices. I realize now that I wasn't looking in. I was looking out. And he, on the other side, was looking in. So, what'd you think? It's very freeform, for if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. It's alright. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Oh, whoops, that was me. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say that I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixed on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big, dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Okay, like I promised, I will go with Sayori. I'd kind of like to do Yuri, but Sayori is the one I'm leaning towards more, and I should have went to her first, but I went to Monica first. This is a good poem, Brendan. Are you sure this is your first time? Of course. It's not that good. Am I the kind of guy who would be writing poems in his spare time? I guess that you're right. But that's why it impressed me too. Well, to be honest, I was afraid that you wouldn't do it seriously. Or that you wouldn't write one at all. I'm really happy. Just that you wrote one. It just reminds me of how you're really a part of the club now. Not to mention the fact that I'm standing in front of you in the club room. Well, of course. I'm not really into it yet, but that doesn't mean I'll break my promise. See? It's like I said before, Brendan. Deep down, you're not selfish at all. You know. Trying new things like this for other people, that's something that only real good people do. Thanks, Sayori. I'm not sure if Sayori sees the full picture of my motivation here. Then again, I can't deny that she's part of the reason I joined. Knowing how much she means to her and all. Yeah! And I'm going to make sure you have lots of fun here, okay? That will be my way of thanking you. Alright, I'm going to hold you to that then. Yay! Now you'll read my poem too, right? Don't worry, I'm really bad at this. Whoops. Well, we'll see about that. Okay, so hers is called Dear Sunshine. The way you glow through my blinds in the morning, it makes me feel like you missed me, kissing my forehead to help me out of bed, making me rub the sleepy from my eyes. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish away a rainy day? I look above, the sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever, but I'm not mad. I want breakfast. That's Sayori for ya. Sayori, this is just a guess, but did you wait until this morning to write this? No. Just a little bit. You can't answer just a little bit to a yes or no question. I forgot to do it last night. Well, at least that makes me feel a little bit better about myself. Don't be mean. I still tried my best. Yeah. I didn't mean to say that it was a bad poem. It came out nice, or how should I put it? It sounds just like you. Really? Yeah. Especially the last line. I made eggs and toast. Even though you were late to school? It's bad to skip breakfast. I get all cranky. Well, I guess there's no point in arguing. Anyway, thanks for showing me. That was so much fun. Monica's the best. Yeah. But next time, I won't forget. And I'm going to write the best poem ever. Well, I guess I look forward to it. Okay. So, I think I want to go with Yuri, not necessarily Natsuki just yet, because she's a little mean. Yeah, I'll go with Yuri. As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten. Exceptional. What was that? Did I say that out loud? Yuri first covers her mouth, but then ends up covering her whole face. He's going to hate me. You really don't do anything wrong, Yuri. You didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. That's... I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for? Yuri takes a breath. So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphor indicates you've written a lot of poetry before. Really? Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really. Huh. Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again. Well, I know that. I just meant Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her finger along the words in the poem as if breaking it down more thoroughly. Yeah, okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers, and having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think that most noticeable thing I recognized in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form-fit it and the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in this club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little bit biased though. Biased? How? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily, as if that's a rare opportunity for her, which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Okay, just to warn you, I am bad at reading cursive in any way, shape, or form. So if you can read it, good for you, but I can't. Ghost under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow, bathing itself be this one, the last remaining spotlight to have withstood the test of time, the last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe. Calms breathing air of the present, but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back. Okay, so what I think she's actually meaning with this is that it's not necessarily a ghost in a way. That it is, you know, I'm not going to even try to explain it. You can take it in your own way, but she'll probably end up telling us anyways. I'm sorry I have such terrible handwriting. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you a long time to read. Ah. Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. That's a relief. Also, I like the poem. Even though it's short, it's really descriptive. It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you liked it. I'll be honest. Since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Huh? Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Brendan. Really? I must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. But remember, the poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in the last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more Solomon. Don't even putting it that way. I haven't even thought of that. That's impressive. It's not nothing really. Yours was impressive too, so nah. If anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you. You think so? Yeah, of course. You know, I was really nervous about doing all this, but in the end, I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you, Brendan. Me too. Okay, so that was the end of Yuri. She is very descriptive, and in the last episode, I didn't try to go lean towards more her. I meant to do it a 50-50 split if I could, of Yuri and Sayori, but I lean more towards Yuri than Sayori. So, if you're a little bit disappointed in that, I'm sorry. Now, time for Natsuki. Well, it's about time, what I expected from someone like you. I think I butchered that completely. That's a little bit blunt. Well, excuse me. It's not like I said it was bad. I just didn't invoke my emotions. So basically, it's not cute enough for your tasters. Do you want to get smacked? Oh shit. She's pissed. I'll pass. Well, anyways, I guess I need to show you mine. Not that you'll like it. Eagles can fly. Monkeys can climb. Crickets can leap. Horses can race. Owls can seek. Cheetahs can run. Eagles can fly. People can try. But that's about it. Yeah, I told you that you weren't gonna like it. I like it. What? Just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all philosophical and stuff. I think I pronounced that wrong. So people don't even take my writing seriously. But isn't the point of the poems for people to express themselves? But your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly! I like when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem. Seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening. So I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like I set up for a rhyme at the end, but then made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line. So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized. That's what I meant to... that's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. Don't expect that... You didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you? Yeah, I guess not. I decided to humor her with the last comment. I didn't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. Okay? Phew. I guess that's everyone. I glance around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone is judging me from my mediocre writing abilities, even if that they're just being nice. There's no way my poems can stand up to theirs.